I'm gonna come pick the bones, you little bitch.
Easy, cowboy. This is PG programming. Darn it, boy. Bring in the Muppets. CM Punk is him. Okay, so the show was fine. Better than I thought it would be. Maybe it's because my expectations were pretty low. But CM Punk again reminding us when he has that microphone in his hands, you better listen. Decent show, nothing crazy, but I do appreciate the fact that we got AJ Styles and CM Punk in the ring. Literally a dream match. You know what's crazy? This match would feel even bigger if Chad Gable was wrestling under his actual gimmick, right? Obviously, if it is Chad Gable and not Mark Henry. Now, before we start with Raw, two very important things need to be addressed. And I have to say this, I'm sorry, but god dang. God dang, boy. Tell me that ain't hot. Also, we got a lot of "We Want Truth" chants. Okay, so let's talk about it. You probably saw my latest video, you know how I feel about it. Obviously, we all miss him, we took it personally, as we probably should. I don't know how to feel about those chants because, on one hand, I love it. I absolutely do. Wrestling fans are great. They're very loyal, very passionate. Even myself, I'm not even a wrestler. I'm a wrestling content creator, and I sometimes feel that from you guys, which I always really appreciate. But it's so weird because, yes, these chants were directed at WWE, but you're also kind of doing it at wrestlers, especially during promos. You're not doing CM Punk, Sammy, all of these guys any favors. The perfect scenario would be Triple H cutting a promo and then people chanting "We Want Truth," but obviously you're not gonna get that anyway. But I definitely understand where fans are coming from, and this goes to show you how many fans R-Truth still has and how dumb of a decision it was to release the guy. I honestly don't remember the last time with so many releases. It seems like it's happening every month now. I don't remember the last time we got something like this. People actually hijacking a show because somebody they loved got fired. So yes, in a way, it did feel a little weird when fans are actually chanting it during promos and, you know, not really helping out wrestlers in the ring. At the same time, what else can you really do? Okay, let's talk about Raw, people. The show kicks off with CM Punk. It's great to be alive on Monday Night Raw in Oklahoma. He says it's the summer of Punk, people. He's going to win Money in the Bank for the third time because it's time to get some gold around his waist. He acknowledges we have so many great champions like Jey Uso, so it's not gonna be personal, it's gonna be all business, but we also have John Cena, who sold his soul to a bald fraud goof. I'm gonna pick up the bones a little bit. CM Punk did it again, people. I'm watching Raw. He kicks off the show. I'm going all in. I'm going in Raw. He feels real. That's what I love about CM Punk. He feels real. No matter what he's given, he makes it feel like what he's saying actually matters. Like you're not feeling like you're watching a character, right? But this wasn't even the best part. We got Sami Zayn, and I absolutely love this promo. So Sami Zayn says you need to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. You need to win the championship because if you don't, if Seth Rollins wins the briefcase, the WWE, that's gonna be it. It's gonna be over. Which is really interesting because this is exactly what Seth Rollins always says about Roman Reigns. So now Sami is saying the exact same thing about Seth Rollins, how they're basically going to run the WWE and it's no good, no. Now obviously Sami says, well, once you win the championship, we're going to have a very different conversation because I'm coming for that championship too. You know what I really like about this? Tell me I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely off and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Didn't they have some kind of a beef? Sami Zayn and CM Punk in Ring of Honor or something like that. It seems like they have such great chemistry. I honestly feel like they do get along really well. The chemistry is absolutely unbelievable, like seriously. Punk was dancing to Sami's theme song. Obviously not everybody was happy when CM Punk came back to the WWE, but I don't feel any tension. What I really like about this first segment is that now we have a reason to watch Monday Night Raw. This episode of Raw has a storyline. Wrestlers have goals to achieve by the end of this episode. Sami Zayn and CM Punk feel like they need to win this match because if they don't win this match, the WWE is ruined. What we saw here with Paul Heyman telling AJ Styles, maybe you should just focus on the Intercontinental Championship, this briefcase belongs to Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins and his faction also have a goal. Make sure CM Punk is not winning this match. So we have a reason to watch because of the storyline progression. We also have a reason to watch because it had a #1 contenders match. Well, qualifying match. So when it comes to the main storyline of Monday Night Raw, I think they did a pretty decent job. I wanted CM Punk to win, honestly, but yeah, you know, I'm happy for Chad or Mark or, well, whoever is under the mask. It's actually the Big Show. I'm just not telling anybody. Quick interruption. The reason my hair looks so weird in every video now is because I'm trying to grow it out, see what happens. So I have to switch sides and shit to make it look somewhat presentable. Why am I making excuses? Nobody gives a shit. It does seem like Liv Morgan is getting replaced by Roxanne. This or either we're getting a completely new version of the Judgment Day. I didn't really follow the storyline. All I know is that Dom about to smash again, man. The man just can't stop smashing. I mean, during the show we got a tag team match. The Vikings versus the Judgment Day. And Roxanne actually did a great job. She helped Finn Balor and JD win the match. I think we saw something like this before, like a year ago. Liv Morgan basically replaced Rhea Ripley because she was actually helping a lot and she was more beneficial to them than Rhea Ripley. The same thing is happening again now. I don't know if it's going to lead to the Judgment Day being split into or just complete destruction of the Judgment Day or Liv Morgan getting kicked out. I have no idea. The only one thing that's for sure, I would bet my life on it, man. Dominic B smashing. Sooner or later. That is confirmed. Another triple threat qualifying match. So this is pretty exciting because Stephanie got signed to Monday Night Raw, which is a huge deal for the women's division. She's so beloved by the fans. She's amazing in the ring, so charismatic. Absolutely love to see it. And she actually won the match. So I'm not gonna talk about Money in the Bank too much because I believe it's a video for tomorrow. I'm gonna get into it. There's some exciting stuff that might happen. All I'm gonna say is, she's gonna be the MVP of the match, most likely, but she ain't winning. I feel like it's way too early. I'm kinda digging the Sheamus versus Rusev storyline. There's a lot of history. If you guys don't remember, maybe you started watching WWE yesterday. There was this League of Nations faction. So good, man. So good. Everyone became a world champion. Well, at one point, everybody was a champion. WWE champion, Universal champion, Intercontinental champion, United States champion. Yeah, none of that actually happened. They were basically fed to Roman Reigns. That's the whole reason this faction existed. Whatever. There's a lot of history. And Rusev is all in with his Redeemer gimmick. You know what? I somehow feel like this match is gonna be good. I really think, I don't know why, it's gonna be really hard-hitting. Not sure how I feel about this Lyra and Becky Lynch segment. The crowd were not into it. If I remember correctly, we even got what chants? So Lyra calls out Becky Lynch, accusing her of being delusional and no longer a good person. Becky hurt her more than anyone ever has, and she's going to destroy her at Money in the Bank. Lynch responds saying Valkyria is just trying to replace her, and that ain't gonna happen. So we got a fight, officials separate them. Nothing unusual, but you know, I took a break from professional wrestling. I returned and nothing really progressed. That's a shame. But we saw the match before, we know it's gonna be good, so still excited about the match. We got a tag team match. Sami Zayn and Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, who teamed for the first time since Bronson Reed joined the faction. This is Bronson Reed's first match since he came back. Okay, so this was a really fun match. I'm glad this was not the main event because it feels like, you know, a main event WWE would typically book on Raw or especially SmackDown. The match ended in disqualification because we got Seth Rollins, we got CM Punk, babyface team stands tall. Again, like I've mentioned, it's kinda weird because Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker not only do sound very similar, but they're also kinda doing the same thing in the faction. They're both like bodyguards, which again, from Seth Rollins' perspective, it makes a lot of sense. You want somebody like these two in your faction. On the other hand, it's a very interesting choice, you know, but from this episode, I got this sense of Braun Breaker is like booked as this future of the WWE, and Bronson is now the big guy of the faction, right? Or you know what? Maybe none of that even matters. We got Raquel Rodriguez versus Kairi Sane. During this match, we got Io Sky interfering because obviously the heel team tried to cheat, and Kairi Sane picked up the W. Didn't really follow the story and I have no idea what's happening right here, but I can only assume they're coming for the Women's Tag Team Championships, right? Karrion Kross got a huge pop again. He claims Sami is not a good guy. You're wasting your time trying to be the good guy. Sami Zayn says, I'm not a bad guy. Karrion says, well, maybe you're not, but maybe you are. I'm glad Karrion was on television. It's still not enough. Like, that's one thing I definitely hate about Triple H's WWE. Sometimes you gotta go with the flow, man. Somebody got over, use them. Use them before people give up. The only time you see Karrion Kross wrestling right now is on main event. I like this version of Gunter, just calm, calculated, intelligent. The World Heavyweight Championship is personal to me, but your selflessness is weakness in selfish business. He says Jay is way too distracted, and Uso responds, 3 letters, 1 word, tap. That shit sounded like Coco Melon. What the fuck? Obviously, it was time for the main event. Man, it was so fun watching AJ and CM Punk in the ring. Like, this is literally a dream match, a dream storyline, I would even say. So I was so excited about it. And of course, Chad Gable adds to it because he's just a tremendous wrestler. I feel like this match was kinda unpredictable. I knew AJ is not winning because he's focusing on the Intercontinental Championship, but I almost thought CM Punk is winning this match because he's in a rivalry with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is already in the match. Well, that didn't necessarily happen. Punk got attacked, El Grande with the usual metal plate spot, and he pins AJ Styles. He's going to Money in the Bank, and the show ends with heels now standing tall, beating up Punk, Sami, and Jey Uso. So Sami Zayn and CM Punk failed, but I still feel like CM Punk or maybe even Roman Reigns are going to be at Money in the Bank because they'll need to stop Seth Rollins from winning. Did I just spoil my Money in the Bank predictions video? I don't know. Doesn't necessarily mean Seth is not gonna win. I still believe he might. It makes a lot of sense. But I also feel like there's no way CM Punk is not gonna be at Money in the Bank. And people, that was your Monday Night Raw. You know, people, wasn't that bad. Maybe I just missed talking about WWE, but I definitely feel like the main storyline definitely carried this episode of Raw. So it really wasn't that bad. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you already didn't. As always, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.